Welcome back to another episode of Braving the Mountain podcast. Today, I want to talk about a super exciting topic, an energy that I've really been honing in on the past several weeks, and that is what are you no longer available for? Because I think a lot of times we get in circumstances that we're in and we think that we don't have a choice. And what I've come to learn, and this is especially come up as I've been in therapy and really discovering that I get to decide, just like you get to decide. And I think that that is really cool. And we get to really think about what are we no longer available for and deciding, okay, well, in my business, I'm no longer available for my accounts going under $5,000. In my life, I'm no longer available for being a doormat. I'm no longer available for struggling financially. Whatever it is for you, you get to decide. What are you no longer available for? What feels good to you? And then you get to make it happen. Because I know I talked about on a previous podcast episode, wanting and deciding are two different things. So a lot of times we're like, oh yeah, sounds really good to have a bank account that never goes under $5,000, but I would love to have that. And then you kind of have this little voice in the back of your head that's like, but I'm not smart enough, but I'm not capable, but I don't make enough at the job that I'm at. And when you decide and you were like, I'm actually no longer available for anything less than $5,000 in my account, your brain starts to search for all of the ways that you can make it happen. You are putting that energy out. You are putting out that vibe. New ideas are going to pop into your head, new creativity, new ways to make money, different income streams, all the things, because the universe is always conspiring for you in your favor because it wants to give you exactly what you desire. But if we never decide that we are worthy and able and capable, then we stay stuck in these same patterns. And I'm just not available for that anymore. I'm not available for the old patterns I've been creating. And it's so fun to live in a higher vibration and approach life and business as to what I am no longer available for versus falling victim to my circumstance, thinking that this just is how it goes, thinking that I'm not capable. Like, that is not fun. That is not a fun way of thinking. That is not a fun way of being. And I don't want that for you either. I want you to really sit down and decide, what am I no longer available for? What do you really, really want? And then asking yourself, why have you decided that you are not allowed to have that you are not worthy of that you are not smart enough? Like, why have you decided that? Because when you really start to dive in, it's just your brain trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you in what's familiar instead of allowing you to grow. And now you get to decide you're no longer available for staying in the same situation, for staying in the same circumstance that you were in, and you can do whatever the hell you want. You can create all the results that you desire, because if it is in you, it is for you, and you already have everything that you need inside to create the results that you desire. Maybe you just need help pulling them out. This is where the breathwork infused method comes in, where I guide you through tapping into you, listening to yourself, because there's not another blueprint to strategize your way into this. It's a decision. It's a decision that you get to make, but this one decision to decide what are you no longer available for can change the trajectory of your entire life. And that is amazing. So really sit down today and let's look at two areas of life. Like, let's look at your relationship, maybe with your kids and your partner, and your relationship in your business. What are you no longer available for within those things? Maybe with your kids, you're no longer available for all the whining and the back talking when you ask them to do a chore and you're drawing a boundary. And you're like, okay, well, if you want to keep whining, then this will happen. Or with your partner. Actually, I'm no longer available to take care of everything for you anymore. This is like my current circumstance, so I'm sharing it here. But, and not that my husband asked me to. That's one thing that I've had to look at as I've been deciding what I'm no longer available for. He never asked me to take care of everything. I just thought that that's what I was supposed to do, that I should do. I was shitting all over myself. And so I was taking care of the kids, the bills, the house, the laundry. I would cook the meals every night. And it's not that way anymore. He actually cooks more than I do now. But all of the other things, I'm no longer available to like smooth everything over so that you have it easy and breezy. And I'm putting myself on the back burner. And so taking that radical responsibility when you are also thinking about deciding what you're no longer available for and then putting these boundaries in place is, where are you responsible for where you are currently at? And this was a tough piece to face for me. I had to really look at, oh my gosh, our entire marriage, 16 years, I put myself on the back burner. I made sure he was happy. I made sure that the kids were happy. I was still a mom. Like, I've drawn the boundaries with my kids a long time ago, but now I'm realizing where I didn't in my partnership with my husband. And it's like, actually, I'm no longer available to just do everything. And I was actually doing things that I didn't want to do. And I was just too afraid to say no, or that I actually didn't want to do that because I was afraid of hurting his feelings. But then I was ultimately taking his power away and not allowing him to fill whatever comes up when I'm like, actually, I'm not available for that. And not in a rude way, not in a bitchy way, but like just in a nice, caring way of like, actually, I'm not available to do that. I don't want to do that. And you get to choose. And it is a compromise, right? Like, sometimes, yes, we do things that aren't necessarily our favorite idea, but we choose, yes, I think I can compromise here, and that's fine. And then there's other things that I'm like, that's actually a hard no. Like, I don't like to deal with the dogs a lot, if I'm being completely honest. And so whenever I get asked to help with them for certain things, I'm like, I really don't want to. And usually he'll ask one of the kids and one of the kids will go help him. But it can be as simple as that. And as simple as editing my podcast. He had been doing it, but that was because I was like in my own scarcity mindset around what it was going to cost to hire a team member to manage my podcast and like all of this stuff. And now I'm like, you know what? Like, I am now standing in my power, and I'm now going to allow him to stand in his power. And maybe it's time that I take that off his plate, because that's not fair of me to throw that on him simply because we're partners too. So do you see where this is going? Like, really just look at all of your relationships in your life and your relationship to your business. Like, why aren't you creating the results that you want? If you don't have the results that you want, why? And really dive in. And is it because you have this thought of like, oh, it would be nice, but you haven't decided that you're absolutely capable and deserving and worthy of that? Maybe you think you're not smart enough. If you're anything like me, I didn't think I was smart enough. I thought all these people, these $1 million businesses, were so smart. And I just didn't have something that they had. They just had like this magical ingredient that I did not have. And so I couldn't create it. And then I decided I'm actually no longer available for that low vibe thinking. And I get to start embodying the highest version of me. This is something else we do in the breathwork method, is we start to embody who you need to become and how you need to show up so that you can start creating the results that you want in your life, instead of constantly wondering why you aren't creating those results in your life. And so I just want you to really ask yourself today, what are you no longer available for? What do you want to be available for instead? And let's let go. Let's let go of this low vibe shit that we're hanging on to and deciding, okay, what does that look like? How do I need to show up differently? Who do I need to become to start to create what I actually do want, because you are absolutely worthy, you are absolutely deserving and capable and all of the things. But all you have to do is just decide what you're no longer available for and take action toward what you want to be available for. And I will talk to you next time.